Hello guys, this is Tina. Probably this is the only video I'm gonna upload today because I spent so long time on resolve one issue in View Resolver when I'm trying to upgrade Spring 4 to Spring 5. Anyway, in this video, I'm just gonna introduce you how to upload a file like a PDF or images into your server side and also display on the GSP page. But for this demo today, I'm just gonna upload an image. I think it should be same for uploading other kinds of type of files. Okay, so here I will continue using Spring Validation XML file because the project is already set up and I think you guys are familiar with that if you watched my previous videos. If you haven't watched it, probably it's better you go and come back. Okay. So in this user model, we haven't any files so to be uploaded. So I'm gonna add one. Suppose when we add a user, we have to choose the profile image, okay? Private multi-part file called the profile image. This multi-part file is a representation of an uploaded image or file received in a multi-part request, because when you make a request in the browser and if you have a type equals file, which you choose a file, then it's gonna be a multi-part request, and this multi-part file will be a representation of the file you are actually upload in the browser. Okay, and we have to provide the data settings, and then I'm gonna do is change our GSP page, right, to have the file can be selected using form input. And why it's not, it's really okay. Put path will be profile image, and then you have to give type is file. Okay, and the next one is in a form. When you submit the form, the default encoding type is, let me show you, that one is very long. Type. The default encoding type is this one, which is application/x form URL encoded. But when you select this default one, it won't support when you submit a file. You have to using this multi-part form data if you submit a file in the form. And the default one will only do the encoding the special characters, like if you have space in the values, it will be converted into the plus sign. Sometimes probably you see like percentage 20, right? And the multi-part form data is suitable for us. In this case, it also has another one called the text plain, but that is not recommended for the production environment. If you have some strange behavior happens when you submit a form, you can using the text plain to see what happened, because the text plain will do nothing on the encoding. Okay, whatever you submit, whatever you input in your browser, it's gonna be whatever submitted, but it's not recommended to use. So we use the multi-part form data here. After you change this one, then you can go to the server side. You can go to the server side to actually save into a database. Not a database. You can actually convert your multi-part file into an actual file saved in the server side, right? So what you can do is you can get the multi-part file. Okay, equals user.getProfileImage. And then next step is if the multi-part file is not none, or the multi-part file is not empty, okay? Then I will transfer this multipart file into an actual file saved in our server side. And to transfer, you can use multipart file dot transfer, and here expect a new file object. Sorry. New file object. Okay, and here you give a file name. Okay, suppose we call file name. And outside of that, we give a string file name, and this one. Okay, and we have to import the file, java l.file, and this one gonna throw an exception. And you can do is add a try catch. Okay, it's gonna throw an exception. So this file name, you decide where you want to save. And here I'm gonna save in the server side, okay? And in order to do that, I have to get the context root, right? I have to get the root folder. To do that, you can do is to get the servlet, servlet context, servlet context, okay? Then I'm using, let's use servlet context. Spring will inject a servlet context for you if you do like this way. And in my file, I will using servlet context dot get real path, and using slash. This one give you the context root, and the other things is your choice. Okay, and I will put it under my resources on my server side. I put it on the image folders, and then you give the file name. I don't want to change the file name, so I'm gonna using the original file name, which means whatever the file you select in your laptop or computer, it's gonna be the file here. Okay, multipart file dot get original file name. This will also include the extension .png .jpg. And everything done is in the controller. When we got the multipart file, we transfer into a file and saved in the server side, okay, in the Tomcat. And then other things is done. So our coding part is almost done. And since we are using multipart file, and you have to tell Spring to resolve, okay, provide a resolver for you to handle this kind of case. Then you have to add a configuration file, which is this one. Bin, you can give an ID, it's your choice. Okay, you can directly give a class. Class, and it's org spring framework dot web dot multipart dot commons and dot CommonsMultipartResolver, this one. And in this bin, you can also add other properties like a maximum upload size. You can control the size which the user can upload, and you have others, okay, you can choose by yourself. So here I don't want. You can also give an ID for this one. It's optional, okay. And the last step in my mind so far, yes, you have to add one more dependency for upload the files. So go here, we add another dependency, and dependency is called a common file upload, if I remember correctly. Then resolve. Oh my god, is it because my laptop is too slow? Dependency common file upload. Yes, commons file upload. Yes, this one, commons file upload, and the latest version is 1.4. Then you can use this one. So everything seems done. Okay, so what we did so far is in the domain model, we have a property file called add a new field called multipart. Then in the JSP, we change this enc type for multipart form data in order to support the for submitter form, which contains the files. And here we add a new field called suppose we call profile image here to submit our form, submit our file. Okay, here I using file, Next one is in our controller. I changed the in our post method, which will save our file on the server side. This is a context root folder. You're gonna go to the resources and go to the images and have the original file name saved on the server side. And next step is you have to do some configuration to tell Spring you're gonna support for our multipart resolver. And the last one we did is in our pom.xml we add a dependency. So now let me deploy and see if everything works. If it doesn't work, I will try to fix. Okay. A little bit slow. I need a very good laptop, like when you, in a minute, okay, it's gonna be deployed successfully. That's gonna be very good. Okay, I really don't like this, and because in my controller, I don't have a request method handle this slash. Okay, later on I will fix it. Okay, we can fix it. Go to the add, and when I add something, okay, birthday, age, and choose a file, and the street, and IA zip code, add. Everything is successful, right? But actually, I forgot one step. Is in the success page, I want to display that. Image here. So how to do that? Let's go back to the GSP page, right? In the success GSP, I have to display that image, right, to see if it's uploaded to the server side successfully. So here I will using profile image, and then here image, and you give, oh sorry, not src, and here you give the URL to actually resolve that image. And personally, I prefer always using the URL started with the context root. And to do that, what we can do is add, okay, tag and give a Spring. We are using Spring tag library, okay, Spring tag library. You can also using the GSTL core library to resolve the URL, okay. And in the image here, I'm gonna give Spring and using URL and the value. Let me using the single quote. Okay, single quote, and here you give a URL, and we save our image in the resources images. So we are just using resources slash, you can from slash resources and images, and then here you have to using the save the user, right? In the save the user, you have what? You have the profile image, okay? Using dot, and then using dot because the image is the multipart, the type. And when we save on the controller, we actually save, this original file name. So you have to using this one, original file name, dot original file name, using lowercase, okay? And when I run, it won't work. We are missing one configuration. But before that, I want to show you, I want to fix this thing. Okay, I want to add a new controller, which is here. Welcome. How about you call the home controller? Okay, I really don't like this one. Oh, sorry, not request mapping. Controller, okay. And here I will using get mapping and using slash, and then I will give public string index, okay, return redirect to slash user slash add. So every time when the application starts, it will go here and it will gonna redirect to my /add to get a form. So not every time I have to type the URL in the browser bar. Now let me we just add this one. Okay, let me show you if it won't work. Okay, now let me go back to the browser. This time you can use the root. It will redirect here, and let me add Tina, email, birthday, age, role, and select this ASCII, and street, state, and zip code, add. You will see the image are not resolved, and you can see actually the URL is correct, but it cannot find the image. The reason for that is, if you still remember the lecture I talked before, and for all the static resources, you have to tell Spring how to resolve those static resources, okay? And since here we are using the same structure as the actual folder, so I'm gonna do is just using a default handler. And to solve this problem, you can using MVC default servlet handler. And this one will resolve the static resources based on the structure of the folder. Okay, you created on the server side, and you can also change it using the MVC resources and have a mapping and location. You can change it. Doesn't match the URL, doesn't match your project structure. Okay. If you are interested in this one, you can go to take a look at my previous video called static resource handling, something around that, about that. Okay, now let me redeploy. This time I expect everything gonna work. Okay, deployed successfully. Let's go back to the home page and add Tina, email, birthday, age, select a role, select image, okay, ASCII, and select state, and 5257. Click add. Oh, this image is so big. You can see the ASCII is saved, okay, but too big. Probably it's better add width and height, okay, it's better. So everything is successful. And let me change the success page to add a width and height. It's too big for me, okay? Like using 30%. And then we're using height is 30%. Okay, too big. And you deploy one more time. And let's go back one more time. Tina, email, birthday, age, and select one and go to, let's using dog, how about that? Street, state, and SS. Oh no, have to give a number, 5, 6, add. You will see this dog is resolved successfully, perfect. Okay, so let me summarize what we have done. Okay, what we have done, let me close all the things. The first step, what I did is in the user, I have a multipart file here, which is to resolve the files, which is when Spring do the data binding, our files will be represented by this multipart file. And you also need to provide a getter status for that. Next step, what I did is in the form, I add a form input. The type is a file. You make sure you're using path to do the data binding. And in order to submit a form which contains the files, you have to change the encoding type to the multipart form data, okay? And the next step is in the controller. In the post mapping method, you decide how you actually want to handle the this file. And what I did here is I translate okay, this multipart file into a file actually saved on the resources images on the server side, okay. And here I didn't change the file name, I just using the original file name. And next one, yes, we actually done all the coding part. Next part is for the configuration. The first thing is you have to add a dependency for actually uploading the files. The dependency is called a commons file upload. Okay, if you don't have that, you will have a class not found, class definition not found exception. Okay, and next step is in your configuration. You have to tell Spring actually to resolve this CommonsMultipartResolver. You have to register it, okay? And the next step, if you want display on a GSP, this is how we display on the GSP, okay? This is displayed on the GSP because the image file is a static files. You have to configure MVC default resources, default servlet handler or MVC resources to make sure it actually can recognize the static content, okay. And I'm using Spring URL to make sure our URL will start with the context root, and that's all the steps I have done so far. But actually this project here have one bug I should be find out last video, which this one, and it's very easy to fix, okay. When I click add, you will see this exception. This exception is because I'm using the period in the age annotation, and I use the get birthday and get age, and if it has it's none, which means here, if I didn't put anything, it's gonna be none, and it's gonna throw this exception. To solve the problem, it's very simple. You can go to this edge annotation, and here I just add one condition, okay? If the user.getBirthday equals none, or user.getAge equals none, then I will return false, okay. And let me redeploy and show you. Okay, I think if you are like learning Spring now, you should be able to fix the non-point exception. Okay, it's a really easy and common exception. And let me go to the add and click add. You will see no problem. And when I have emails, birthday, age, row, choose a file. Suppose I call this cat, okay, and this one state, and 526, and everything is successful, okay. And sorry for the bug. I think if you run it, you should be able to fix by yourself, okay. That's it for today's video, and if you have other questions on how to upload a file into the server side, you can leave a comment, and see you next time. Bye bye.